Welcome to another episode of System Shifters, Episode 3. I'm your MC, Taylor, guiding your fearless teens through another wild adventure. We've got Mark as Grayson, Emma as Bryn, Jessica as Bee, and Seth as Oswald. This time, the crew's hot on the trail of the elusive chubby Cobra, leading them straight to the eerie old Plancy farm. Let's dive right in with Bryn's journal entry to set the scene.
She's tapping her pen hard against her leg, leaving an ink blot behind. She takes a deep breath before finally beginning to write. Conspiracy Log, Volume 3, Entry 17. It has been an eventful evening of adventuring with my friends. Well, at first, no one really believed me. She pauses, scowls, and mutters, no surprise there, but then begins writing again. There have been multiple sightings now of a blurred green figure. While I cannot confirm what it is without further investigation, my theories are currently leaning to the extraterrestrial variety. The figure was first seen at the fort, and then again as we followed it to the abandoned Plancy farm. While I am comforted to know that the second sighting was by Grayson and not just myself, the rest of the group is still skeptical of its existence. We couldn't have known what was about to happen. It was even more baffling. For as we continued to investigate, and the sun set over the fields of abandoned soybeans, something changed. I don't mean changed like how everything feels like it's changing lately and it's the end of an era and all that high school stuff. I mean the air literally changed around us. It was like mirages began appearing. There were images overlaid to our reality, but they weren't really there. And then the dragon. Bryn pauses, underlines this word twice, and then shakes her head before continuing. I swear on my good reputation as an investigator and every single issue of Cryptid Monthly that I currently own, there was a dragon in this vision. The others didn't see it, but they did feel the heat when it breathed fire across us, and there was smoke afterwards. I'm used to being the only one who sees things that no one else does. She stops again, scowling, crossing this out hard, and tries again. I'm used to being the only open-minded believer, but none of them believed me this time. It was disheartening, a feeling that I'm not used to having around my friends, but I continued to press on. Like Grayson reminded me, it's all for science. This time when Bryn stops, she smiles fondly. Her eyes soften a little at the edge. She picks up her pen again. I cannot be sure if all of these happenings are alien technology, failed cloaking devices from a government experiment that we stumbled on, or if it's something else that I haven't even imagined yet. But between these sightings, the weird dragon mirage, and then the journal that Grayson found labeled Dimensional Experiments, I think there is so much more to be found on this farm. More findings soon. Bryn.
You had just left the house and made your way over to the barn, where you saw some, I believe it was dice to go back on. I believe it was you, Grayson, who saw something blur past, and you guys were heading that direction.
Yep.
You also saw the green, whatever it was, and you guys made your way into the barn. This barn is a pretty typical barn. It is kind of fallen down. There's holes. There's a bunch of bird poop. It does have 2 levels. There's a couple pillars in the center that lead up to the haylofts, with some old rickety ladders on each one of the pillars. As far as what's on the ground, it's just dirt. There are some horse stalls there, and just old, rusty, dirty farm tools, pitchforks. There's an old scythe on the wall or a hay cutter. Just typical things you'd see in an old barn.
Looks pretty normal in here. I don't know.
No aliens in sight.
Well, they wouldn't let you see them. Not if their cloaking devices are working properly.
Or robots. I'm sad about no robots.
We should go further in and check it out, just in case. I mean, we're already here.
Proceed with caution.
I'll whack my big old maglite a few more times and start heading deeper into the barn.
Okay. You guys head into the barn. And like I said, it's just dusty, dirty dirt floors. Horse stalls on either side. There's like 2 on each side. And then a bunch of old farming tools. You have the ladders that go up to the hay lofts. There's also an old steel beam that goes clear across where they would use the hooks to put hay up in the lofts.
Is there still hay up in the loft, or are they all emptied out?
It's hard to tell because you were below there.
Curious if there'd be anything like hiding up in there.
There's probably only one way to find out.
So I'm gonna take my flashlight and I'm gonna check out the stalls. See if just to be sure. I mean, you guys saw something, right?
Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
Give me a flight.
8, which
An 8?
explodes. 9, because I
9.
exploded.
Okay. There is nothing in here but some weird like indentions in the dirt. Sort of looks like claw marks. Bigger, but look, it sort of reminds you of like when your chickens walk across mud, but way bigger.
They look fairly recent.
Nah, not real. That'd be hard to tell because it's like I said, it's a dry dirt floor.
Hey,
All
Bren,
the tracks in here look the same.
come look at these tracks.
Bryn's
Does
gonna
this-
come over and take a peek.
Look like anything from your books and findings?
Well, they're rather large, which means that what we're dealing with is probably some sort of a predatory animal, but there's no distinct characteristics, and it's on the dried floor, so it'd be hard to kind of get a specific based off of it. But it's definitely something, and something weird.
This doesn't look, I guess, human to me. But I don't know. And just dark.
I'm not ready to say that these are chubby cobra marks just yet, but they're definitely something inhuman.
Roll of brains.
Yay. I love doing that, because I am smart. Ah. As I throw my dice across the room.
Yeah.
Roll to think
Smart.
big.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay, yeah, we're happy with these dice too. 26.
26. These are way bigger than a chubby cobra. From any info you know, this is way bigger.
So I'd actually go out on a limb and say this is something bigger than the chubby cobra. And Bryn's probably even going to kind of lean down and like hold her hand up to it to be like, yeah, most chubby cobra marks are only a certain amount of length, and these are much bigger.
Any idea what it could be? I've never seen anything like this in our barn.
This is uncharted territory. I obviously have some theories based on local cryptids and ideas, but it could be anything at this point.
Oswald, what are you up to with your big old mag light?
I'm gonna go look at the ladders to the hayloft. How rickety are they?
So you go up to them, shine your light up to the entryway there. They look old, but they probably would support you guys.
I'll shine my light up there, see if I can spot anything.
Give me a brains.
Oh, great. That's a D4. Exploded.
Yay.
Let's see. That was a 2.
So 6.
6, yep. Can't do math right now.
You hear some rustling and dust kind of gets in your in the beam of your flashlight.
Yo, I think there might be something on the hayloft.
I'll hold your light while you get up there.
I would go vote you go up there. You're more sporty.
Well, you're better at climbing.
No.
Bryn
damn it,
totally
I'll-
ignoring both
I'll
of them
do
is going to
it.
start up the ladder. No,
Bryn,
she's
let's
already
go.
started up.
You boys scared of a hayloft?
No, we're
I
just
don't
trying to
get my bones sucked
strategize.
out. I won't get deboned.
She already said the prints were bigger than what a chubby cobra, so
So
That's
it's the
not-
I think you'll keep your
better.
bones.
Chubby Cabra Mama.
There's no proof that the chubby cobra breed. We've talked about this.
Yes, you said they do mitosis or whatever.
It's possible that they can do asexual reproduction, but it's just a theory. It's a working one, okay? Yeah,
who's
like I
going
said,
up
Bryn's
first?
Bryn was, as they were arguing, she was like, "Yeah, no, we're going up the ladder."
Okay. so you're
Imagine
going
Bryn
up
and
the
Beard
bridge.
just like
Well, there's 2
right on
ladders.
top of each other.
There's basically one on each side of the barn, up the beam, and then there's that steel beam that goes the entirety of the space up there.
You said
I
there
feel
was
like
a bunch of
it's
old
like a-
farm tools around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab a sickle and then I'm gonna head towards one of the ladders, just so I have something.
All right.
I feel like B and I have done this multiple times in her barn, so like we would just very systematically like head to opposite sides and like start up.
Yeah.
Get to the top and you hear something rustling.
Shine our flashlight around and see what we
So
see.
yeah, I'm just looking around.
What do you see?
Well, nothing
Give me
yet.
a flight.
Light
Flight.
7 on my 8.
9.
9. Okay. You guys shine your lights around, looking across the old. There is some old leftover hay from years and years and years. It's pretty broken down, dry. You don't see anything like you don't see anything of real merit other than a few birds fly out the main hole.
False alarm. Looks like some birds.
Well, you two can have a look-see up there. I'm gonna stay down here.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the exits, right? So
Yeah, no escaping.
Yeah.
good thinking.
Very brave, guys. Good
I feel
job.
like we're just gonna make eye contact and that just like knowing eye roll.
Yeah, like roll our eyes. All right. So I'm gonna walk in further and just kind of kick the hay around a little bit, shine my flashlight, just to be sure.
Give me a brains, please.
Oh, no. All right.
Looking for a 5.
5 on a d6. No, 3.
Okay. A whole lot of nothing up here but old hay, bird poop, couple piles of raccoon dumps.
Bryn's gonna probably be looking on the ground specifically to see if there's any marks similar to like what they saw downstairs. Or maybe even like a trail that would lead out, because I'm assuming like normal barns, it has like that wide open entry kind of in the top of the hayloft where the
Yep.
birds went out.
There's one on each end.
So she'd be searching like around those and then like specifically on the floor to see if there were any markings like downstairs.
Okay, give me a brains. I need a 10 or better.
Will a 16 do it?
16 will do it.
I'm smart. SMRT.
The character succeeds quite impressively, it says. Alright, so you walk up to the edge of that entryway, right? It's not fully opened, but it doesn't take much just to give it a little push, and it creaks all the way open. Out across the yard is now, like, looking through the entryway that you're facing, you can see the house and the grassy that leads up to the house. There is patches of flowers planted in really peculiar, like it's a weird pattern, and it looks definitely deliberately planted.
These are the wildflowers from last time that we just noticed were kind of like randomly,
Yes.
what we thought was randomly placed.
Yes.
Okay. And does it give, like, Bryn obviously knows, like, her conspiracies and her aliens and stuff. Does this give, like, concentric circles, like crop circles, or is it like a design?
It definitely looks like a design, but there would be nothing that you would know to recognize this. Like, you've never seen these patterns before.
Bryn, especially because it just happened, would
I'll
probably
change up how I say that. You've seen these patterns before, but where to place it would take a pretty significant role on brains.
Well, what I was gonna say is, because it just happened, like literally not time chronologically, but like in-game just happened, her mind's probably gonna go back to the journal that Grayson found and how that it was like all symbols. And she'd probably yell down at him and be like, Grayson, do you still have that journal?
Yeah, I got it.
Can you like toss it up or climb it up to me?
Yeah, I'll toss it up. He's got a pretty good arm, so he pulls it out, kind of makes sure that it's together, like it's not going to go flying everywhere if he chucks it, and he'll toss it up to you.
Give me a this will be a fight.
Okay, that's not
A
bad.
fight.
I can do that.
You're going to roll a grit, Emma.
That's also still not bad. I could do that.
One to throw, one to catch. So to throw it up there and get it to her, looking to skill with a 8.
An 8, cool. I got a D4 in fight, so
Joy.
I literally can't do it. I have 3 adversity tokens,
Okay.
but even then, if I rolled a 4, I would still only make it to 7. So
You'd
That's
explode,
fail.
though.
Oh wait.
oh, that's true. Yeah, let me try.
Oh no, that wasn't us. It was the guys. The bonded action was their like
Yeah.
dexterous thing, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did explode. Look at that. Okay, I
Yay!
got a 4 plus 3, and then I'll use an adversity token to make it 8. Nice.
So no issue.
Yay!
Throw it up there to her, and what'd you roll to catch it?
What am I looking for? I haven't rolled yet.
An 8.
Same. Okay. Well, I also have to explode, so here we go. I got a 6, but adversity tokens are what? 2 or 1?
1.
Okay, I only have 2, but
I have 2. We can use them on each other, right?
I believe you can. Let's see. Anytime you fail at a stat check, you learn from your failure and take 1 adversity token. These can be used in 3 different ways. Can be added to rolls by either you or another player. Characters in that scene in order to increase the overall results. So yes.
You said you got a 6, right?
Yeah.
And you have 2 tokens, so that would make it an 8.
It would, yeah. I would just be out of tokens.
Plus, you also would get an adversity token for that failure.
Mhm.
So it would
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like buy 2 get 1 free. Cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm fine with that. So I'll do that to catch it. So I assume that Bryn's not like coordinated in the least. So she probably like fumbles and then manages to like scoop it across her chest, like
Almost drop it out the window.
right.
So you
And then
fumble
she's
to get
gonna-
this thing, and you're gonna do what with it?
She's gonna very carefully kind of open it and just start trying to scan and see if anything in here looks similar to like what she's looking at outside.
Okay. I will come back to her in just a second. Let's go back to downstairs. What are you guys doing down there?
Well, should we go outside and look around, maybe? Since nothing's in here.
Let's do it.
All right. They have the upper hayloft windows open anyway, so if something happens, we'll hear it.
Hopefully before we fall out.
Yeah. We'll catch you, don't worry.
It's a hell of a
Go-
trust fall.
Gotta go look outside a little bit more.
Scan the fields with the flashlights a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, give me a brains.
Oh, great. That's a D4 again. It's a 3.
Nothing out here that you can tell.
Dang it, I knew I should have brought my reading glass.
You get an adversity token as well.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna put it there.
Grayson got a 10.
A 10. Okay. You succeed, but just barely. As you shine your flashlight across the yard there, you stop. And you swear that staring back at the barn is a... You've seen these before. It looks exactly like when those mogwai and they got wet, and it is staring. It's basically right. It's up on the patio of the farmhouse, staring right up at you.
I ain't seeing nothing. What do you see?
Us, look,
Grayson?
us. What is that?
I'll turn to
Backing up.
Your flashlight, as you're trying to get Oz's attention, your flashlight goes off of it for a second, and when you get Oz's attention, he's gone.
What? There's nothing there.
There is something over there. That was... Well, nope. It looked like a big gold nope.
A nope doesn't describe what it is.
It was all, yeah, nopey. Yeah, it was like a thing you don't want to find in the dark in the middle of a field in a abandoned house. It was a big nope.
Well, why don't we go look?
Fuck. Okay.
Here, if you feel better, here, take this sickle. I'll hand him over the sickle. the rusty sickle. This'll help.
I was like hefted in my hands a bit. I'm like, okay, that's a bad idea.
So you guys start back across the yard from the barn, back up towards the house. We're gonna go back up to the girls up in the loft. Give me a brain.
Fail me now. 15?
A 15. The patterns do not match anything that you see out there. But you were looking across, watching the boys walk across the yard. And when Grayson's flashlight hit the porch, you saw it too.
B!
What? Did you find something over there?
There's a gremlin on the porch.
A what?
A gremlin. Like the movie that we watched.
Like the cute fuzzy one?
No, like the icky green ones.
Oh, I don't want one of those.
Well, no, of course not. We all want a mogwai, but these are the gremlins, and it was on the porch.
Whatever. I want Stripe.
Is it still there?
Bum, 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 bum,
We look back, and is it still there?
Nope.
No, but I swear it was there. Grayson shined his light down there, and I saw it.
Would that be the green thing that you saw, maybe?
It's possible. I mean, all kinds of creatures exist out there. Not just aliens and robots. There's all kinds of cryptids.
More importantly, if it is a gremlin, can we revert it back to a mogwai, like the cute fuzzy kind?
Well, the movie doesn't exactly go into that theory, but it'd be interesting to see. Bryn goes on one of her, like, mumble to herself tangents.
Could you imagine one of those riding on Binks?
Would be pretty adorable.
Cutest thing ever. Yeah. Let's go see if we can find it. I want it now.
I'm on board.
I imagine
find
you guys
anything
just
else?
go over to the stairs. You do the cool guy slide down without climbing down.
Bryn, like, tucks the journal inside her big, like, hoodie pocket to make sure, with, like, her other journal to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, and then very carefully goes down because she's not as dexterous on these.
All right. So you guys were a little bit behind. Oswald and Grayson, you make it to the patio, just at the bottom of the stoop. There's nothing up here, but the door is cracked open again.
Didn't we shut this door?
Thought we did, but kind of abandoned, so maybe it creaked open.
I think B was the last one out. I don't know.
I wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
Neither was I. I was too busy thinking about the potential for robots.
Fair enough.
Because if I see an alien, I'll be very excited, even though I'm not into aliens.
I hope we don't see an alien, man, honestly.
Oh, come on. Have a little excitement in your life.
Yeah. I
As
don't
we
know.
run up. Did you guys see where it went?
And maybe
I didn't see
when
it.
back in the house. I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
didn't
you
see
saw
it.
the gremlin, right? Like, you saw it.
I didn't see
Yeah,
it, Gremlin.
I saw something. I turned to show Oz and but they scurried off or something. I don't know.
It's
Did you guys
not
open
just
the
me.
door?
No.
Nope.
We closed that when we came out, right?
I thought we did.
Yeah, I was the last one out. I know to shut the door.
It's true. If
Big
we
D
have to hear
tells
one
me
more time.
every day, you weren't born in a barn. Yeah, no, the door was shut.
When in reality you were.
It was close. Mama Cat came real close.
Real close. Big D's like, you got time. I gotta finish choring.
All right. So what are you guys doing? You going inside?
Yes.
I feel like
So
we're
you-
chasing our tails here,
Yeah.
guys. All right.
You make your way back into the main foyer. Same old dirty, old furniture, dust on the ground. There's still an old picture frame knocked down over by the fireplace mantle. It's got some broken glass on it. Looks like an image of the like a hand drawn of the farmland here.
Grayson will kind of catch that again and remember he saw it earlier. And he'll sort of like toss the sickle to Oz a little bit. Okay, Oz, take this for a moment. Chuck it. And he'll go tiptoe over and pick up the frame and kind of like bash the broken glass out of the frame and see if there's anything written behind it or
Okay,
whatever.
so yeah, it takes you a minute to clear all the glass and the dust and the grime off of it, but you manage to get it out of its housing. It is a hand-drawn map of the grounds here. with a it's got a very, very detailed drawing of those flowers in the yard. On the back half of this drawing is a star chart.
So I'll once I get it all cleaned out, I'll kick the glass off to the side a little bit, and I'll bring it back. I'm like, Bryn, is this what you were looking at up there? Do any of this match the journal?
I'm gonna take the journal out. I'm just gonna hand it back and go. I looked at it from up above, and it doesn't look like the wildflowers match anything in the journal. I mean, they're very specifically laid out, and it was probably done for a reason. But it doesn't match anything in the journal that I saw. I mean, feel free to take another look. I might have missed something.
Yeah, I think Grayson probably is feeling a little anxious at the, it's past dark. He's not a big fan anyways, and creeping around, gremlins everywhere. But I think he kind of gets lost in the investigation of it all, and he's gonna sort of flip through it and see if he recognizes any of the stars or symbols or anything, kind of flipping back and forth and referencing, taking notes and stuff.
So as you're flipping back and forth between the map of the farmhouse and the journal, looking for any clues or anything that would match, nothing really pops out in relation to what you see on the map. But you do keep growing across where the few things that you could decipher. Unlocking the New Worlds is the name of the book. Key, and where the stars meet the earth.
Grayson's got his flashlight in his mouth to free up both of his hands. He's like, I don't know. Pull it out. We're gonna have to look at this more closely later, I think. Okay.
Gotta get you a headlamp, guy.
That's some duct tape.
That's a 9, but I have some adversity tokens if we can, if it's close.
Looking for an 8. So there's a star chart on the back of that drawing. You take your as you're moving your flashlight and flipping everything around, you notice that when you hold it a certain way, the stars shine through.
Onto the front of the drawing?
Yes, you can see the reverse image.
I hold it up. I'm like, Bryn, shine the light at me. I hold it up so that the light shines from her flashlight towards me.
Must withhold from making a "you light up my world" joke. Gonna probably take his flashlight and hold it sort of projector style, on the map.
And does it line up with anything specific about the map of the farm?
It looks like there are a few conjoining lines that depict a planetary, as a planet's come across, right? One spot in particular makes a perfect X on that map in the wildflowers.
Check this out. Right here, there's the X. That's right where those flowers are. Do you think
Yeah.
this
I
is
heard X. Is there treasure or something?
I think it marks the spot.
Maybe.
Do you think this is what the book meant about where the stars meet the earth? Where these stars are matching up on the map of the farm here?
It's a good theory, especially because the stars are on the back of it. Maybe we should check where it says on the map.
Especially if there's treasure.
Yeah,
I think there was one of the old shovels in the barn. It's rusty, but
Bryn's gonna take one of the, I'm sure, mini pens or pencils out of her bun and kind of like lightly make a mark on the front of the map so that we kind of know what we're doing.
Do we
So-
hear the little creature in here that we? Is
The
there
only
any?
thing you guys hear is sound of birds calling in the background and some wind rustling across the prairie here.
The night birds are being quite loud tonight.
Playing
Usually
with a
they're
gremlin running around.
maybe they're trying to scare
Maybe.
y'all.
or maybe it's a party. I don't know.
Maybe.
Give me a D12 roll. Tell me what you got.
2.
2?
Yeah,
Okay.
a 2.
I'll tell you that it's about 8 o'clock at night now.
Whatever we're gonna do, guys, we need to get it done because Big D's gonna kill me for too much later.
Big D's an old softie. You could just tell him you were walking me home because my mom was working a double. We'll be okay.
Yeah, but too much later.
Let's at least go check out the X and see if there's anything weird
Yeah.
there.
Like, yeah, we can definitely go check it out, but
I'd say we check out the X. I don't think the farm's going anywhere, so we can always come back.
yeah, we can come back tomorrow. So let's go check out the X and then head home.
It's not like it's gonna get up and walk away.
It might. Specific alien technology can cause
So
extended
let's go check
mobility.
out the X.
What
There's
is
that
it?
Baba
Like
Yaga story too. She's got a house that walks around.
well,
Funnily
like
enough,
a ray,
lots of folklore probably were cryptids.
a ray
Things
of
out the
glowy leggies.
She's just rolling her eyes and shaking her head. She's out the door.
That's hilarious. Okay. So you guys go back outside, down the stoop, look across the yard, and you see dirt flying out of the center of that yard. Something is out there feverishly digging, throwing dirt clods all over the place.
Gremlin.
Did they dig in dirt?
Whose dog is digging in the dirt?
I reach over and grab the sickle from Oz. Like, I'll hang on to this for you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
Alright, I got my flashlight. I'm looking as I'm walking, I guess, towards it. 'Cause we're trying to figure out what this thing is, so.
Tentatively walk towards the flying dirt.
The dirt stops as the door slams shut behind you guys.
Did you guys shut the door?
No.
No.
And you hear barking.
I recognize the barking.
You do recognize the barking. Out in the middle of this yard is your dog digging a big ass hole. She hears the door slam and she comes bolting towards you.
Binks, what are you doing? Y'all, I told you Big D was gonna be mad. Sent Binks to come get me.
Well, that's a
That's
That's
a
a
good
dirty
girl.
dog.
Start rustling her messy hair.
She's doing all sorts of running around, doing the happy dog dance around you. But then stops and gets that low guttural growl starts happening. She starts barking back off towards the direction she was digging.
Yeah, what were you digging for, Binks? She don't normally dig, because Big D gets real mad when she digs holes. So, you should probably follow her.
She's not going anywhere. She's standing beside you guys.
Was
Well, we
she
should probably go-
digging at or around the area that we were heading to anyway?
Hard to tell.
Well,
Out
let's
in the
go
middle
look
of
at
that.
what she was digging at.
Yeah, we'll head, I'm gonna head the direction we saw the dirt coming from, see what we can figure out.
Okay. Your flashlight all point that direction. Imagine you were just watching Binks run around and acting goofy. And then when she started barking and growling, you guys pointed out as you started walking that way. Standing in the middle of that field is that same green creature holding something in its hand. A metal box.
I
Staring
told you there was
right at
something
you
out
guys.
here.
Well, now I believe you about the gremlin.
Oh, now
That's
you
what I
get
saw.
me.
Hey, seeing is believing, okay?
What's the play? What are we doing?
What's in the box?
It like points at the box and then like points at you and flips you off.
How
I'll give it back to
tall?
Dolbert.
How tall is this thing?
About 3.5 foot tall from foot to ear.
Grayson calls out. We come in peace. I thought it was you supposed to say that, but take us to your leader. How do we do? What's the protocol
Do we
here?
want to go to it later?
I don't know.
It takes that box and smashes it on the ground. And you see papers and just stuff go flying. It's rummaging through a bunch of things. I need a grit roll from all of you. This is a 12.
Oh, it's a 3.
Take an adversity token.
Okay, that's an 8. Hold on.
Oh. It's
8 and a 5 is 13. So, whew.
Mm-hmm.
Can I re-roll with an adversity token? I got a
You
2.
can do that once per session.
I'm gonna
I'm
hold.
saving mine. That's why I didn't re-roll it.
Yeah. I'll hold.
I rolled an 11, and I'll spend 1 adversity token to make it
Okay.
a 12.
So the
Does
ground.
that count? Sorry, does that count as a failure if I
It
use
does.
the adversity?
It does.
Okay, so I spend it and get it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
So the ground starts shaking. You hear that same screeching roar that Bryn heard earlier. Now all of you do. Again, the heat that starts coming up is blistering on your skin at this point. And that would be for B and for Oz.
Who turned up the thermostat? My God.
My
That
skin's burning.
Creature seems to have found what it was looking for and bolts back into the woods.
Well, time to go check out the papers.
Gonna
What's in
let
the
it get
box?
away?
Well, it was looking through the papers, so maybe the papers tell us something. Do you want to fight? Do you want to fist fight the creature for whatever it has?
And it seems to be pretty quick. And
There
it's dark.
Yeah,
are
it looks fast.
flashes and glimmerings of those buildings. You see in your peripherals. You're seeing vehicles and creatures that are. It can't be real. It just absolutely can't be real. Some of these, that car has no wheels. It's floating. That creature has 6 heads. That's a fucking
Guys.
dragon. A spaceship
What?
flies overhead. And this is all within, like, you blink, they're gone. You're just getting flashes of different things all over.
Well, this is happening.
Told you I saw a dragon earlier.
I guess I believe you now.
You hear what sounds like a large cavalry running through the woods. You hear... This sounds like World War II era tanks coming up the battlefield. Like, just a plethora of sounds, shapes, creatures, people, monsters, just everything. Like, they'll walk into your sight and they walk out. Like they're stepping through lines and veils. But just as quickly as it started, it stops once the creature vanishes into the woods.
What the heck was that?
I don't know. I
don't
don't
know.
really
I
want.
think
I don't really want that to happen again.
I've,
There's
I've
something
we
in
heard
the
of like
psychics.
I've read about like universe shifting technology, but that's theoretical even for my stuff.
And your stuff is sometimes.
I think we just kicked up something funny in that hayloft.
Yeah. Or the old house had some strange mold or something.
Yeah. We're just hallucinating. Because that was a lot.
We all
Someone
saw
or
the gremlin though.
I mean, I
Yeah, but
think I did, but that
maybe
didn't make any sense either.
it could have been like a, I don't know, a really short person in a Halloween mask. Kind of odd, but a gremlin is also odd.
I think we should follow it. It had something, and as soon as it got that something, the things started happening. It's not a coincidence, guys.
Well, let's go look at the papers first.
Fine, but it's gaining traction on us at this point.
It was gonna gain traction anyway. That thing was speedy.
So you guys quickly make your way over to where Binks was digging, and you find remnants of a smashed metal box. It has all sorts of strange hieroglyphs on them, basically squiggles, lines, geometric shapes. The papers, though, that got strung about, looks like they came out of two separate books. Most of the papers are all scattered, and some of them are kind of fluttering away in the wind. If you want to try to catch those, I need a flight. From a couple of you, and then whoever wants to look at the books, let me know. There's two.
I mean,
That
I got a
was it.
7 for
Two.
grabbing
that's
pages.
him. Just
Okay,
to
you
grab
grabbed a
page.
couple. A two.
Got a two.
I'm gonna use my adversity token
All
reroll.
dispels are
Why not?
not being kind.
I rolled a 2 again.
Yeah.
So you
My
know,
dice are
like
being
when a piece of paper, something gets away from you in the wind, and you like reach down to grab it, and it fucking blows and it rolls away
Uh-huh.
from you. That's what's happening to you too. So I'll say Bryn and Grayson, you pick up the books.
Mhm.
Grayson, the one that you pick up is titled Guide to Unknown Realms. And Bryn, the one that you pick up is Adventures in the Multiverse.
Thanks for listening to this episode of System Shifters, a Talking Crit podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, and YouTube. Join our Facebook page and Discord for updates and play with our awesome growing community. Tell your friends and tune in for our next episode.